Alright lads, so today we'll be showcasing the newest Beyond Bankai character. In this case, we have Kaname. Yesterday we showcased Toshiro, so if you haven't seen that, I recommend you guys check out. And in tomorrow's video, we're going to be showcasing Sergeant, so look forward to that too. So I'm pretty excited about this particular character. Now keep in mind, we do have him 5 out of 5, but for this demonstration, as a 1 out of 5 showcase, he's only essentially getting 500 SP. So while I will showcase him a Max Transcendence at a later date, for this video, we're more so just here to demonstrate how he's going to perform at a 1 out of 5 level. And by that, only getting 500 additional SP. Now this character has a lot of value, and that's going to be the main reason why you would actually want to summon for him. But having said that, he has a massive problem that we are seeing right from the get-go. We'll talk about that in a minute's time. Before we do though, let's talk about what makes this character good and why you might actually want him. For starters, he is a Sorry for Hollow with the no affiliation kill ability. He is an SP orientated character. He has drain on every single attack, which is great for his survivability. He's going to easily be able to stay at full stamina. Alongside that, he does have a great set of strong attacks, mainly that SA2, which is the best SA2 in the entire game, being a distant AoE into a tracking vortex. And then alongside that, he comes with the following set of skills. The most important one is what makes him valuable is the farming skills. He is the second character in the game right now. He is the third character in the game, the first hard character in the game to have all 3 farming skills in one character. That's increased mind droplet drop rate by 30%, increased mind elixir potion by 5, and also increased mind super elixir potions by 5. And that right there is amazing. It means this character can farm normal potions, droplet, super elixir potions, take him into IT, take him into droplet zone, take him into epic raids, and he's going to be one of your best characters there and giving you the additional drops. Now alongside that, with guard break and also hidden enemies, frenzy +2, an additional 20% strong attack damage that you give to every heart character, which I really do like because he is for the most part a co-op character. You want to bring him into IT, you want to bring him into droplet zone or epic raids, and in those types of content you're playing with other players, so being able to buff their strong attack damage by even 20% is actually really good. And again, that goes for himself too. Frenzy +2 and 20% strong attack damage, while isn't anything crazy like the characters we've been seeing with Toshiro, for example, it's still good enough, and the fact that he adds extra bonuses when playing with this character in terms of drop rate is actually really good. And then I guess to wrap up the character, which makes him a tad bit more special, is that he also increases everyone's movement speed by an additional 30%. It's kind of a gimmick, but it's the first time we are seeing it, and there's a few fun things you can do with that, but it's nothing super crazy. But regardless, it's still nice to see. So with that said, let's jump into some content and showcase the newest Beyond Bankai Kaname. So this is going to be a first in a BBS showcase. In this case, we aren't actually using Kaname. Instead, we're just letting him get carried. The reason for that is because, unfortunately, and again, this is the biggest problem that you're going to see with this particular character, at the very least for the next month, is that this is a character designed to be used in content like Inheritance Trials, who unfortunately cannot be used for this particular month. While it's true he does have Killer, the enemies themselves are immune to Drain, and he wants to inflict status augments, right? You want to inflict status augments to help clear faster, so because of that, because he can't inflict status augments, realistically, you don't really want to use this character, at least in this particular month. And that's the biggest unfortunate thing about him. It doesn't make him bad, it's just very unfortunate timing on Kayla's part by giving him no affiliation killer and making it so the enemies are immune to Drain. Next month, when the IT does change over, the character will then be able to be used. And essentially, in general, regardless of Killer, this character will be able to be used as long as the enemies aren't immune to Drain. But at the same time, as you can see here, there are plenty of people willing to carry in IT lobbies, especially when it comes to the heart attribute, because 1,000 Year Blood where Ichigo exists, he absolutely destroys any inheritance trial he goes against. So even in a case like this where you can't even use Kaname, you can still get the value from him because he's a super Linkster character. As you can see there, we autoed, I didn't even play, we didn't even die, so we still at least provide some support with the, the strong attack buff, the movement speed buff, and also that Vortex SA2. And yes, while it's true that Kaname couldn't technically be used there in a manual play, we were still able to get the value from him and got those additional super Linkshot potions. So that's kind of the good thing about Kaname. Even in a situation like this where you can't use him, sure, you can get carried, so you're always going to be able to get the value from him, which is definitely something worth talking about. With that said though, let's jump into a single player IT quest where we can at the very least do some damage still, even though we can't inflict status augments. But what you're going to see here is that the character's gameplay is actually quite smooth. For the most part, nowadays we see 2 types of characters when it comes to farming content. You're either going to be like Toshiro, ridiculous damage set and also strong attacks, or you're going to be like Kaname, where you deal less damage than those massive damage dealers, but you offer more value in terms of drops. So you're clearing slower, but you're also going to get more drops, right? So it kind of balances out. And in Kaname's case, I actually really like his strong attack here. As already mentioned, since he does have drain on every single attack, in a normal situation, at the very least, when you can inflict drain, you're not going to have a hard time staying at full stamina. So if you do give this character any links or bonus abilities that give you more damage when at full stamina, if you ever get hit, you're always going to be able to get back up to said full stamina to take full advantage of those extra damage abilities. Alongside that, he is the first farming character, or one of the few farming characters at the very least, that has actually a good kit. There's almost nothing wrong with his overall strong attacks. Yes, you could complain about his SA1, but personally, I don't really mind it. It is a pushback attack, and sure, a 3000 beam would have been better, but again, it doesn't really ruin this character, especially because he makes up for that SA2. The SA2 is the first time we're seeing it put onto a farming character, which again is the distant AoE into the tracking vortex, so it does that initial hit, which is already a great strong attack to begin with, but then it gets a, 75 hit combo because he has Frenzy +2. If you are in a lobby with 4 Kanames, that's always going to be providing a lot of crowd control, and since everyone has Frenzy +2, there's a good chance that you're always going to be inflicting stat ailments. Even with no increased chance to inflict stat ailments, I think he's going to have a pretty easy time farming content. His two competitors for the most part is Nini and CN, and in CN's case, he offers less links or potions. I would also say CN is a naturally worse character to begin with. Nini, I would say, has a worse kit. That SA2 that Nini has is still not bad, but it kind of ruins some momentum, and I don't really like playing it. And while it's true that Nini has the advantage with the increased chance of inflicting stat ailments, and also 2 killers, I think Kaname is going to perform better when he doesn't have killer, which is something that you need to keep in mind, right? There are going to be times when Heritage Shrouds just doesn't have the killer for your character, and if you're forced to bring them because they increase the amount of links or potions you get, it can be quite a hassle to play with them. I myself kind of get bored of using Nini, especially when she doesn't have killer, but in Kaname's case, I can see myself enjoying him with or without killer, especially when the IT quest actually allows us to inflict drain. And because that problem is already there right from the get-go, right from the character release, I really do wish this character was maybe given a second killer, like the other 2 characters in the banner, or if he was given a second stat ailment. If it was weakening and drain, this character would have been significantly better, but I don't really want to highlight what he could have gotten. I feel like what he does have is actually good enough. But still, regardless, it is quite annoying that KLab released a character like this to technically not be at max potential on his release. But as already demonstrated, you can still use him anyway because to still get the extra links or potions. And this character can also offer some value outside of IT, and we're going to demonstrate that in a minute. But going through this run again, pretty good stuff all considered. I'm not even trying to go for like the fastest play time, but we are doing quite well. I'm kind of just walking into all the fire pools, which is kind of like, you know, hurting us a tad bit because we're losing out on full stamina damage, which isn't ideal. But again, it doesn't really matter that much. Highlighting the SA2 real quick though, I do think that's going to be the best thing about him. Just being able to farm content with an SA2 like that is just something that basically we've never done before. There have been characters that come close to doing that, mainly the 1000-year Blood War Uryu, for example, but he doesn't have the initial 960. That kind of does hurt him in my opinion. Kaname having though is great, and it's going to make farming a lot easier. Now, another great usage that you can get out of this character is actually use him in the current epic raid. As already mentioned, he's increased the amount of links or potions you get and also droplets, and at the same time, for the first time ever, we saw KLab add new bonuses to a rerun epic raid. And in this case, Kaname is a bonus, getting bonus medals, damage, and then the fact that it increases the links or potions and droplets you get is actually really, really good. So if there's one thing you're going to be doing this month with Kaname, is definitely farm this particular epic raid, and he's going to do quite well here. In this case, what we actually did for this particular character, probably shouldn't have used my soul bomb right here, is that we gave him weaker defense. Since I plan to use him quite a lot this month, giving him weakened defense is something that you might want to do to allow your entire team to do 30% more damage for the next 10 seconds, and that's what you really want to do in epic raids, is clear as fast as possible. Kaname's SA2 is going to be doing quite a bit of damage, and if you don't have an Asane in your lobby, you're going to be able to stay at full stamina and also buff your entire team. Now, obviously, in a situation where he isn't a bonus, he obviously is doing less damage, but regardless, he is always going to be increasing the amount of droplets you get and links or potions, so regardless of being a bonus or not, you're still going to want to use him. And in this case, and this just keep in mind on the slower side, we did get a 30-second run. Runs definitely can be a lot faster depending on the people they have in your lobby, but what you're going to see here is the effect of Kaname, right? We're getting the additional links or potions, and this lobby wasn't a full Kaname run, so because of that, we got less droplets, but we're still getting the maxed amount of links or potions because we had a Halibel and Lisa in our lobby. But hypothetically, if this was a full Kaname run, we would have gotten around 10 more droplets on average. But as you can see here, at least in my opinion, it's just a great drop to clear time ratio, right? A lot of links or potions, a lot of droplets, and again, at the same time, if you are trying to max out this new special shop, you're also getting a lot of medals, 300 per run here, to contribute into maxing out that particular shop. So Kaname for epic raids is going to be great for this month, and overall a great character to have in any epic raids. So with that said, lads, that was the showcase for the new Beyond Bankai Kaname. I'm happy Kaname finally got a new overpowered character. It's been quite a while since Kaname has been in the spotlight like this, so I definitely do like it. With that said, though, I think he's going to be a great farming character again in epic raids, inheritance trials, and as we already demonstrated, at least with the heart attribute, even in a situation like this where he's unfortunately performing at his worst inheritance trials because he cannot inflict star ailments, at the very least, you can still get the value out of him from that increased link shot potion skill. Because whether or not he inflicts star ailments or not, people are willing to carry, and you're able to get those additional potions. But when we can eventually inflict drain, killer or not, we're going to be able to manually use them, get a full OP of Kaname's, and get those easier super link shot potions. And that's something that I'm definitely going to be doing quite a bit, and also going to be farming epic raids for the entire month, because again, he's also a very good character there. So overall, pretty solid character. Definitely could have been even more insane had he just had a few things changed about him. Again, a second killer would have been nice. If he could have inflicted weakening, that also would have been quite good, but at that point, he would have been also one of the better characters in the game. That's how crazy it could have been if they just gave him those 1 or 2 extra things, because if he did got it, I might have said he's better than Aizen. That might be a hot take though. But for a farming character, again, he's going to do what he wants to do just fine. So hope you lads enjoyed the video. I'll see you lads next time, and in the comments below, let me know what you lads think about this Kaname.